So last night I had a interesting night. Okay, uh, some of you have followed me in the past when I was used to do tarot. So some of y'all might remember this person. Don't say the name. If you remember the name, don't say the name. But I had this person in my life starting in 2018, and we were seeing each other on and off for 5 years. And I had a very intense spiritual connection with this person. But their flesh wouldn't move. Their spirit would always come to me through music, um, signs, confirmations, but their flesh only moved when they wanted to do the do. That's it, like when their spirit wanted that in the physical, align that with the physical. And me and this person, I went through the ringer. Like in my mind, I had it made up that that was my person because of how intense the connection was when we met. I was like, "You're the person that well, in my head, I recognized that that was the person that my grandfather had sent me because my grandfather had passed away earlier that year, and then I met um, I almost said the name. I met the person in the summer of that year that my grandfather passed away. When my grandfather passed away, he came to me. I've always been able to connect with passed along relatives. And the night my grandfather passed away, he came to me and he told me that um, he had somebody that he was going to send to me. And he said, "Leave that boy alone, and I have someone I'm sending to you." So at the time, I was seeing a guy that ended up RAPEDing me. I mean, RAPINGing me. Um, and after that happened, I cut him off and stopped talking to him. And then, like, a few weeks later is when I met this person that I had the spiritual connection with. And I remember manifesting, like, you know, that his life would get better. In a spiritual sense, you would say that he was a divine masculine or a twin flame. And I was getting so many signs that he was my twin flame, but I was also getting signs of karmic twin flame. How to know you have a karmic twin flame? But I was ignoring those signs because I was like, I don't got no karmic twin flame. Like, this is my true twin flame. So me and this person were like seeing each other on and off for, like I said, 5 years. We never really tried to build anything. Like, I tried to build, but he was only really focused on the surface level connection. Like, we would go into separation a lot for long periods of time, and it was just very stressful for me. Like, I hope y'all can hear me, but the connection was very stressful for me. So I uh, ended up, y'all know, I went in psychosis, went to the hospital, all that stuff. When I got to the hospital, I moved from Connecticut to Kentucky. Me and this person had stopped talking. The last time I had heard from that person was 2022, I think. 2022, and I went into psychosis in the hospital in 2023. I moved to Kentucky in 2023. In September of 2024, this person just pops up and follows me on social media and like contacted me. I think it was on Instagram. It was like, "Oh, hey, what's up? Hope you're doing well." And I was like, I'm doing fine." And he wanted to talk on the phone, so I was like, "Okay." So we get on the phone, and I told him that I had moved to Kentucky, and he was like, "Oh, you know, I have this job. I might, be able to fly out to you." And I was like, "No, that's okay. You can stay there." And I could feel like the energy shift. Like when we first got on the phone, he was very like soft and like uh caring, I'll say. But once I like denied or declined his request to like come out here, I was like, no. I could immediately feel like the shift where he just was like, all right, I don't really want to talk to you anymore on the phone. Like, I'm good. And I cried on the phone that day. And the only reason why I cried is because, like, all the idolation and the delulu I had about the situation completely, like, left. Like, I like, cried and let all that go in my heart. Okay? So then, we got off the phone. Haven't heard from him since. But, yeah, haven't heard from him since. But he watches me on Snapchat, like everything that I post, which he didn't do beforehand. But I met this guy when I moved to Kentucky. We met through BLK. And, like, I felt a spiritual connection there, but I was really trying to, like, avoid a spiritual connection because I was like, I'm not going through what I went through before again. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. So then I started seeing signs about twin flame. And I was like, okay, but it wasn't karmic twin flame. It was like twin flame. How do you know you met your twin flame? Twin flame, twin flame, twin flame. I was seeing 1111 everywhere, 144 everywhere. So I'm like, okay. But I was still in my mind like, I'm not entertaining this. So fast forward, me and him been talking for some time. Haven't met yet. So we're in the separation stage of a twin flame connection. So it's been like a year, a little over a year that we've been talking. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I like him, but I'm not allowing myself, like, my heart is invested. Like, my heart recognizes him, and it's like, okay, like, I could see myself with this person. But in my head, up until this morning, I was like, I don't know, like, if I could do this. Like, I would just be in my head about it. So, this morning, or as to say last night, I didn't go to sleep till 5 o'clock in the morning because about 2 weeks ago, I did like a heartfelt prayer to God. And I was like, God, if this person is my twin flame, if this person is my person, help my mind to see and recognize that this is like the person that I have a spiritual connection with, that I have a true spiritual connection with. Because right now my heart is like completely like 150% in this, but my mind is like at -2%. And I need my mind and my heart to be in alignment. So I said that prayer and I left it. I left it. So I ended up, going onto Amazon and getting this book. And because I was like also in the prayer, I was like, show me what I need to do to like help us come into union in the physical. Because I was like, my heart was like, okay, what's some flames? I know I have to do something as a divine feminine to like attract this in or whatever. Because I know there's like negative energy on the other side. But I got this book and I started reading it. And after I said that prayer, I let it go. This morning, I was laying in my bed. I could not sleep for the life of me. All of a sudden, I started hearing like songs. I forget what the exact songs I heard. Maybe if I do remember them, I'll put them on the screen. But I was hearing songs. I like my mind was like spiraling because I was like, oh shit, like this is really my person. Like this is really my divine masculine. Like this is really, I'm really doing this again. But I realized like, I was like, okay, the spiritual aspect of this is similar to what I went through before with that other person, the karmic twin flame. But I know the physical is going to be way more different. So just know